That was
let
it.
me,
The
let me
font
know for
and the
next
what?
time. Let me know for next time.
Welcome in. Let's just go here in about a second. Okay. Just welcome in. This is the neighborhood pulse. Let's do this. We'll go. Okay. Let's have a little fun.
Yeah, baby. I like it. I like it like that. Come on.
I like it a lot. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the Neighborhood Pulse. Wherever you are in life, you never forget the neighborhood. This is the show that talks all about real estate. Hear it from the industry professionals. Joint hosts Kevin Callback from Realty Executive Cornerstones and Eddie Martinez from MSB to learn what the Neighborhood Pulse is. The Neighborhood Pulse brought to you through the financial support purposes. Whatever. I took the word. I'm like the guy, whatever's on the teleprompter. That's what we got. Right. That's it.
Dave Van
There we go.
Live in studio.
Escapo.
There we go. Who knows?
How you doing, Eddie? How you
welcome
doing,
I'm
sir?
doing great. How are you?
Absolutely. We've got Ken Jones with us today. It's an unusual look. Whoop, whoop.
The
Gotta love it.
producer out here.
He's got that
That's
swag
it.
today.
goofing things up like, huh? What?
That's it. It's got the Masters of Disaster. That's for sure. You know, the market maulers. What else? We'll come up with some different names, right? It's
Yeah, definitely.
super
Absolutely.
crazy out there. It's boy, I'll tell you, you guys, man, this real estate recently, rates are fantastic, right?
Mhm.
They're less than 5%.
Yeah.
Fantastic rates. But what are you guys seeing? How's that affected what's going on? And when your phone's ringing or when you're calling folks, what's that conversation looking like?
Good question.
That is crazy.
Good question.
Yep.
I think it's mixed emotions. I
Right.
think it's people that were looking into buying a house a month ago and
Right.
were on the fence. Now they're like, man, I wish we would have taken advantage of those great
Right.
rates in late February, even early in January.
Right.
We still had decent, there's still decent rates, but rates were more attractive early in March.
Sure.
And, these last 3 weeks have been somewhat brutal to people that got used to seeing those 3.5s, those high threes. And the reality is rates are still low, right?
Oh,
But
absolutely.
what the public eye is looking at and where the rates are trending now, I think that's where they get a little skeptical.
Right.
And should I wait? Should I pull the
Right.
trigger? And that's some of the conversations that we have with
Right.
some borrowers.
And I think that's that remorse of, man, I missed a great opportunity, right? Of having 2.5%, 3%, etc. And now they're down. I'm saying, don't be down. Get out there and buy a house.
Right.
Get out there, sell your house. It's still a
Yeah.
great market. It is
So
fantastic.
So really, Kevin, right? In what we do, what you and I do, and what you and Eddie do as lenders and realtors is unlike anything else. In the fact that this is a two-way, two-purchase event. So in other words, you're purchasing money
Right.
from us,
Correct.
and then you're giving the money to purchase a house from you.
Yep.
And so what and a lot of people who are listening are going to say, oh, that happens with everything. It does happen with a lot of things. You go to buy a car, but I don't talk to you necessarily about buying the money.
Right.
I put you in a car, we test drive it, we go down the road, you like it, great. Where do you want to be payment wise?
That's exactly.
And how much are you going to give me for the car that I'm paying or trading in?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. You want to be at $300 a month. I can't get you there, but I can get you to $325. Oh, sure. That's close enough. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't worry too much about it. Some people do. Be like, well, what rate am I getting? Well,
Right.
you're getting a 4%. Oh man, that's fantastic.
right?
Well, that's fantastic.
Yep. For
Right?
a car rate, it could be.
And so we're happy with that. But we're not thinking that we're purchasing money. Real estate's the only thing where you go through 2 transactions. You're
Yeah.
going to buy the money, and it's a complicated deal.
Right? Oh,
It
absolutely.
isn't you're stopping in for a weekend and driving home in a Cadillac. This is a complicated deal, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're not ready for 2 transactions. They're thinking of 1 transaction. So what I like to say is the prize is the home. It's not
Price,
the mortgage.
that's it.
You're not going to ask people, come on in and sit in my mortgage.
Right?
Come on over.
That's
I've
it.
got a guest bedroom in my mortgage.
That's in my two bedroom mortgage.
Right, my 2-bedroom mortgage.
Right.
So I to help people understand, and the difficulty is they're saying, oh my gosh, it was too well. It wasn't the right time for you to either sell or buy or whatever the case may be. But again, the idea is you want to get into that house.
Right.
The prize
Mhm.
is the house, not the mortgage.
Sure.
You don't hang your mortgage paper over the mantle.
Right.
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 So when we're looking at this, we have to help people understand that it's a 2-step process. You're going to buy the money,
Right.
which is
Absolutely.
very stressful,
Yep.
and then you're going to buy the house.
Right. It's a little bit different here too. Is we make sure that you can get the money before we
Yep.
show you the house, where they put you in a car you love, and then you figure out how to finance it, get it paid
Right,
for.
Right.
So a little bit different. So we don't like you to fall in love with a house and then say, yeah, sorry, not going to work
Right.
for you.
Or, hey, you're pre-approved for a credit card with a limit of $2,500. Sweet. Let me apply for that.
Yep.
Okay, you got it. Well, you just bought that $2,500 for 29%.
Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But all of our best intentions are like, that's okay. I'm going to pay it off all the time.
I'm gonna use it and pay it
That's
off.
right.
Never
That's how they
happens.
get you. That's how
Never
they get you.
happens.
It's a new company out there. Marquetta is trying to change that up a little bit. But yeah, 19%, 29%, crazy
So,
numbers.
but we're happy with it because we got something.
Right.
We got the little card that I can go out and buy shoes without having to have the money on me today.
Sure. And it's
Right.
gold or it's platinum or black
Oh,
or hey,
It's
yeah,
still
yeah.
plastic.
That's
It-
right.
It'll make you feel
It,
good.
it just looks shinier.
That's
And,
right.
and to your point, I know we talked about buyer's remote on, hey, the rate was lower. What about buyer's remote on that house was lower and now it's higher?
Right.
If,
Sure.
if you're asking when's a good time to buy, I think anytime's a good time to buy, because what if the price goes even higher? They could go lower. Who knows? We
So,
don't know.
I don't see interest rates going down. Maybe, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not a fortune teller.
If we knew that, we wouldn't be sitting on this podcast.
It's true. That's
We'd
right.
have a different podcast.
That's right. How to survive on the beach.
So let me tell you a story, and here's the truth, the story, and I'll use this example. I'll use myself as an example. When my wife and I bought our first home, we ended up with an adjustable rate mortgage, but it adjusted the other way. People were like, "What?" So the mortgage that we had started high, like at 8%. Okay, this was back in 2003. It was our first home. We were happy to get into it.
Right.
We didn't care about the percent. But every year that we didn't miss a payment, it would drop a quarter of a rate. And it would drop a quarter of a rate down to like 5 at that time or something. So we were like, man, that's really exciting. We're good.
Yeah.
And so it dropped. And then we had some difficulty. And once you miss a payment,
Yeah.
that's where it locked.
Right.
So it locked at 6%. Okay. 2% better than where we were.
Absolutely.
And our mortgage payment was comfortable for us.
Mhm.
We didn't
Sure.
have a problem. And even though rates were lower and whatnot, we didn't care. We didn't want to go through purchasing a new mortgage.
Right.
So we were happy with it. People are like, well, why would you do that? Because it didn't bother us. Our payment was comfortable.
Right.
So a lot of people will call that an anchor payment.
Right.
Right. So that payment is you become comfortable, and it just it anchors you.
Right.
And what a lot of people do then, as I look at it, I might have been able to save a lot of money. I even might have been able to save a lot of money on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
But we were comfortable with it, so we didn't care.
Right.
Our neighbors are refinancing, doing whatever, getting lower rates, whatever.
Yep.
But we were comfortable there, so
Yep.
we kept it there.
And a lot of people did.
Yeah. Now, when we went and sold our house, we qualified for a much lower, around 3%, so half which allowed us to get a better, bigger, I don't know, better, but a larger home,
Sure.
right? For just a fraction of the cost more. When I say a fraction of the cost, $25 more a month.
That's amazing.
Than what
That's
you were
crazy.
used to
Than
this
what
whole
we were
time.
used
Right, right.
So, so in the scope of real estate, because we didn't want to go buy new money
Right. Yeah.
because there's closing costs and things like that, we just said we're fine.
Yeah.
And we stayed put. And where I'm going with this is a lot of times you can be comfortable but you can never trade backwards.
Right.
Right. I can't
True.
go. I
Yep.
can't go today or before we moved and go, man, let me go back 6 years now that I know what I know and refinance and do this, that, and the third.
Right. Yep.
Mhm.
So
No redos.
so there isn't any redos. So right now, if I were to tell you that you qualified for a $150,000 RV at 4%, at 5%, you would be like, that's a winner.
That's a winner for
Right,
sure.
right.
Absolutely.
Because the prize is the RV.
Absolutely.
and we're very happy. So right now, I understand home rates are about the same as car rates.
Yeah,
Pretty
they are.
much. Yeah. Now car rates are. Yeah,
They're getting back up there, right? But the idea is what's good, what's not,
right.
and
Exactly.
it's a crazy game. But the two go hand in hand. But the goal is the house.
Right.
The prize is the house.
It is. Yep.
Right. And when we know it, we know that the average loan length of a loan is 5 years.
Typically,
People don't
yeah.
hold it for 30
Right.
years. The average length is about 5 years.
Yep.
4% for 5 years isn't that bad of a deal. You're not
Yes,
going to pay a lot of
no.
money. You're going to end up either selling, buying, or refinancing at that time.
Right.
And many people, yeah, when they refi, it's that mental. It's keeping up with the Joneses, right?
Yeah.
It's their neighbor says, "Hey, I paid 2%."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No," and they're thinking, "Man, I'm buying at 4.5%.
Yep.
I missed the boat. Dang it!" And they don't want to move out there, but get out there, man. This is still cheap money.
Yeah.
I mean, comparatively where it can go and where it has been in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've seen this history repeat itself.
Right. And I think even your rate back then up until you moved was higher than where rates are right now.
Yeah.
And you were
And I
comfortable with
I
that.
was happy with
Exactly.
that because we had the house and we afforded it. We could afford it.
And I think that's the key word is like, not to word it as what's your comfortable anchor payment, but if you're comfortable with this payment that you're not going to miss a beat, why mess with it? Why finesse with it? Just get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
Get qualified for what you'll get qualified for, and then just pull the trigger as soon as possible.
And if you're renting,
Yeah.
call us because there's a great opportunity for you to gain equity, have tax write-offs. There's many benefits of home ownership
Ton of benefits.
other than renting.
A ton of
Right.
benefits.
A ton of benefits instead of renting.
Yeah.
And when we were young, we found a house in the area we wanted, and we didn't care what it cost.
Right.
Interest rates are like, yep, great, I need this house. I got to have it. We were in that position where we could do that kind of, but it was really an affordable house. It was $115,000 back in the day. So
Right.
it wasn't bad. So we could afford that. It worked in town. All the family was on the block. I mean, it was that importance of, but owning that home, which I was going to stay in 3 years and I thought I was going to upgrade from there.
Yeah.
We're in there 13 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We wound up staying
It was
longer
our
than we
first
thought,
house.
right?
We're going to
Yeah.
be in for a little bit. 18 years later, we
Yeah.
moved out.
13 years later, we finally moved.
Even rent now that you touched on that is they have higher criteria now. No pets or no this, no
Yeah.
smoking, 2-3 months down payment, which is what your down payment
Mhm.
might be to qualify for a house.
Right. Absolutely.
And I know that it's just about Martinez Morgan. It's easy for
Ba-da-da.
you to say.
Ba-da-da.
When I'm on camera, I can't talk, obviously. But when we come back, I want to talk about something that's affecting a lot of people. And I want to be able to help them get out of the situation that they're in.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure
That's our goal.
you'll piggyback on it real well, too. But here we go.
There it is. That's my cue. So today
That can mean only one thing. It's time for Martinez's Mortgage Minutes.
So this is a question for a lot of people out there that I've been seeing and getting is why is FHA financing sort of a problem right now? And this is a very good, valid, question. The answer may shock you, and this is not all realtors, but some realtors might not understand how FHA loans work. Many real estate agents might think that the deal might be jeopardized when the inspection happens, that we need additional repairs. Any repair regarding health issues and whatnot with any financing that you get is something that will be addressed regardless, because health comes first when you're putting a family in there. But truth be told is that there's just prejudice around FHA financing, and if we understood those ins and outs a little bit better, I think more people would qualify. It's shocking to hear right now too that in most parts, FHA loan will have a lower rate than a conventional
I know.
loan.
I'll be back.
Sometimes they'll piggyback and say, well, you know what? Maybe the down payment's not big enough. But there's ways to kind of just cover yourself and get with a good realtor like Kevin, where you want to have skin in the game. Maybe have that realtor have that conversation with you in regards to having more skin in the game regarding a larger earnest money for you to deposit, so that the seller has a little bit more of an assurance there in case you back out of the deal, that they're covered for their losses in that time that was spent throughout this whole process, where maybe you back out and it wasn't the right home for you. Well, at least the seller now has something there to, hey, maybe use that money to do the repairs that were being asked, so you don't skip a beat with the next FHA offer, or if you go conventional. But I think just more education, which is what this show is about, is educating the public, educating everyone that's involved in the process to make that experience valid and joyful for everyone. What are your thoughts there, Kevin?
I agree. FHA, VA, conventional, all great mortgages, just a little bit of different spin on each of them. The FHA and the VA inspections can bring up some issues that maybe a conventional mortgage wouldn't flag. But still great buyers, great people to get into your home, and I wouldn't pass them up without exploring further, asking the other agents some questions, where are they at, what's coming on,
Right.
what do they have for down payment? Do they have additional money? Where's their earnest money? So there's a lot more than just money we look at. We look at the terms, and we look at a lot of different things when we're accepted an offer.
Right.
And in this mortgage, in this time, we're looking at a lot of different deals at the same time and comparing them to see who's the strongest buyer. And sometimes it's an FHA buyer or a VA buyer, conventional. Cash still king.
Cash is king.
But sometimes cash buyers want to come in with less money, and we're like, we're still going to get the same money at closing, whether you're paying cash or you're financing it.
That's right.
Right.
Hey, Steph.
So we're not going to do that too much. We're not going to negotiate much on
That's right.
price. So
That's right. All right. That was Martinez's Mortgage Minute.
it was
There we go.
amazing.
All right. So there's right now, the shark in the water is forbearance. Okay.
That is.
And there are a lot of our listeners out there and a lot of people out there who are stuck in forbearance and are risking losing their home right now.
Absolutely.
Okay. And the nice thing about, of course, the Neighborhood Pulse is we always want to kind of educate a little bit.
Sure.
Listen to what I'm about to say, and this may help you out. Yes, you love your home. It holds a lot of sentimental value. It's a beautiful thing. Perhaps is where you've raised your family. Through the pandemic, you decided to do a forbearance, and now the bank is knocking on your door saying, give me my money.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give
Yeah.
all of it.
They got their hand out.
All of it. So whether you had a 3 months forbearance or a 6 months forbearance or more,
Right.
they are now going, give me my money.
I want to see it.
We saw that a lot during COVID.
You don't have it. Let's just be honest. You didn't have
Right.
it then. You don't have it now.
Yep.
Listen to about what I'm saying here. Right now, your home is worth more than it's ever been worth.
Absolutely.
Period.
Mhm.
Your credit will not rebound very fast from a foreclosure
No,
or a bankruptcy.
absolutely not.
Okay. Also, if you're thinking about doing a bankruptcy and keeping the house, the forbearance doesn't go away,
They agree.
right? So if you're facing that, it is to your advantage today, while your credit is still good,
Right.
to call Kevin, call a realtor, whoever it is, and list your home.
or refinance if possible, right? Can you refinance out of a forbearance?
It'll be tagged on the credit history. A lot
Right.
of lenders are iffy on that.
Depending
Another-
on the lender and the position you're in.
right.
Okay.
I can tell you a true story
Yep.
happening right at this very moment. Is they were in forbearance. They figured out they couldn't get along as well as they could with all that time together they had. So they're getting divorced. She called and said, "Hey, what can I do? We're not gonna be able to make the payments when this forbearance is up. What do we do?" She says, "Don't worry about it. You got another 3 months of forbearance left." She said, "Great." She has 6 months left of forbearance. You have this 3 months, and calls back in 2.5 months. We'll give you another 3 months. By that time, everything's good. Calls them again, says, "Hey, I want to extend for that extra 3 months for forbearance." They say, "Well, you're not in forbearance, you're in foreclosure." She's like, "Huh?" So
Sorry.
hold on a second.
Oh,
So now they're talking to the investors, they're talking to the bank, they're listening to the recordings, and the recordings all show that what she's been told is what
It was
she's
forbearance,
what she's told.
forbearance.
Forbearance. So she thinks she's in good shape.
so she's
And
been
we're just
misled,
finding out.
lied to.
That she's in foreclosure. Now,
Wow.
can we sell the house? Now that's the thing. And she's got plenty of equity. That's the thing, is she can give them all their money.
Right.
But they'd rather put foreclosure and take a portion of their money or a short sale. I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
So we're working through it, and I'm sure it'll be great. But make sure you communicate with your bank. Don't ignore
Right.
the letters. Don't ignore the phone calls. If you're falling behind, pick up the phone,
Right.
answer it.
Keep
call
your
'em,
records,
find
paper
out, keep
trail.
records.
Yeah.
Yes, write down notes. Who you talk to.
Before you
Ask
talk,
their name.
just know this call's being recorded.
That's right.
You never know.
My end too. Thanks.
Yeah. So Stephanie says, with people paying above appraisal, how does that affect loan programs? Have people had to switch from conventional to FHA? Yeah, I haven't seen them switch, Eddie.
No.
No, not switch.
What we do know is the lender goes by the appraised value. So if
Correct.
the home appraises at 100,000 and you say you're going to put 20% down, we're going to give you a loan for 80,000.
Mhm.
If you say you're going to pay 120,000, you need to come to closing with 40,000 now.
Right.
And a good lender will always look at those hypothetical scenarios where right now it's a bidding war. How much more can you put in the table outside of the loan?
Mhm.
And we need to verify those assets so that we don't come
Mhm.
short at our offer or at closing or what have you. And we know that those funds are good up to this dollar amount, and give yourself a little cushion just in case.
Right.
Yep.
And I think
But-
that's important to know is if you're putting 20% down and they say it appraises at 100 and you said offered 120,
Right.
is you're still bringing that 20%
Right.
to get rid of PMI and all that stuff, but an additional 20 on top
Right.
of that.
That's right.
Some people
Right.
think, well, I'm putting 20% down, so what's the difference?
Yeah.
Right. And there's a big difference.
There's a huge difference.
Huge
A
difference.
couple of $100 difference, a few $100 difference.
And you're not going to get that get rid of your PMI if you don't bring that extra
That-
20K
right,
and
you don't
stuff.
bring that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we go back to the forbearance thing,
Right.
right? I was talking with a realtor. They did forbearance. So this young family did forbearance. He's in the trades. He's not working now.
Right. Yeah.
They're
This time of year.
sweating, worrying about what's going on. And so they reached out, not to the lender, but they reached out to the realtor. The realtor, they're like, we don't want to lose the house, but man, da, da, da. And so the realtor says, well, let me come over and take a look at the house. Ran some numbers on the house. Said, well, you owe here. I can sell it for here. You'll sell your home
Right.
and walk away with $75,000 in your pocket.
Right.
Now, that's somebody's annual salary right
Right.
there.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Now, people are, but I don't want to lose my house. You're going to one way or another.
That's right.
If you're not winning the lotto,
Trust
you're
me.
losing your house.
Trust me, you want to sell now
Right.
so
Absolutely.
it doesn't go into foreclosure, so it doesn't affect your credit.
Right.
You don't have to file bankruptcy, things like that.
Right.
And with your credit good, you sell that house and you've got some equity build there,
Right.
or you walk away, you can buy a new house
Put
because
that
your
75
credit's
down.
still good. As long as you're working, you qualify, right?
Well, right. Yes.
As long as you qualify for the loan. Now,
That's true.
this particular family, young family, is going to move in with the father-in-law, who's not in real good health, to help him and whatnot.
Right.
But this is a life. This is life changing for that young family,
Absolutely.
because not only are they maintaining their credit and decent standing, their house will sell in nanosecond just because of
right.
the market, and more than likely get enough to where now where the gentleman is the main breadwinner isn't working because of the trades.
Right.
That's a salary.
Right. Oh,
Come
absolutely.
on, people.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's for sure.
And you can't be embarrassed
No.
because you jumped into a forbearance.
No.
It was 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we knew it. Right.
So many
we
people
didn't know.
Yeah, were out of work. It was crazy.
Out of work, things were nuts.
People passed away. Everything
Yeah.
happened.
So you did what you did to protect yourself. Well, you did it quickly, and it
Right.
might have been sold to you as a bill of goods. And as we're finding out, some lenders are
Sure.
not being real forthright. Right?
Yeah.
Gee, surprise.
Yeah. Right.
But the idea is you're able to. There's a solution that's not going to kill you, not going to kill your credit, won't
Right.
harm your family,
Right.
it'll get you to where you need to be. Now, here's the other thing: you walk away with $75,000 cash, and you rent a place for a year, and you still got a good amount for down payment.
Right.
You'll be able to get back on your feet. Your credit's not crap,
Right.
and you can get into a house,
Lickety split.
lickety cut.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
I mean, so it is very scary. I would always recommend to reach out to a realtor,
Yeah.
right?
And
You can reach out to a lender, and here's what a lender is going to say: you're going to have to talk to your lender. I don't know who owns it.
Right.
You got to talk with them,
Yep,
right?
for sure.
But the solution would be talk with a real estate agent, so
Right.
that way they can help say, okay, your house is worth X, and we can do this and get
Yep.
you out of this mess.
Absolutely.
especially
And that's-
especially in those situations where people are being told, "Oh yeah, you got 3 months left or 6 months
Mhm.
left," and
Right.
you hear that, pick up the phone and call different people
Yeah.
and get different
What is
opinions.
this?
Yeah, because that's the last thing you need is a knock on the door. It's the sheriff. There's a notice,
Oh,
and you guys need
How
to
do
get
you know
out.
it's a sheriff?
Well, other reasons.
Bad boy.
For another show.
Yeah,
That's
right.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's crazy. It's tricky. So yeah, you got to talk to your lender if you're in trouble. If
Yep.
you're getting ready to fall behind, you got to
Yep.
talk to them. Talk to your lender, find out what your home is worth, and if they have started foreclosure proceedings,
Yeah.
talk to an
Mhm.
attorney as well to see your next best steps. Because they'll want to look at that forbearance when it becomes due, what can happen,
How much
and,
time you
and
got?
check out
really?
this. Yeah, how much time we have too, because it's a long process to foreclose on somebody.
It
I mean,
is.
It's So if they're going to foreclose on you, they're not doing it tomorrow.
Right. They
Right?
don't. Yeah.
It's going to take.
And
a
I
minute.
don't think
It's a
that's really
process.
talked about that much, forbearance, and I don't think a lot of people know the options out there. Maybe
Right.
they think once I'm in forbearance, I can't sell my home. So I'm glad we're touching on this topic to just educate the people and let them
Yeah.
know that there is options out there.
I mean, you have to pay off that forbearance when you sell your house,
Absolutely.
right?
And they tack that on top,
Yeah.
right? So,
What about past due property taxes?
oh boy, that's a mess.
Where
for
are
sure.
they? Me and Kent will buy them.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
Let us know if you're not going to pay your taxes. We'll buy it.
That's
We'll
right.
buy
We'll-
them.
we'll
That's
take
right.
it.
That is pretty funny.
So past due property taxes. I don't know if there's it depends on the county, the state.
Right.
I don't know if there's a relief for it or not. I do know that they.
If you have a mortgage,
yeah,
your mortgage company is going to continue to pay those taxes because they're vested in the property, right?
if
they're
it's
not gonna-
escrowed,
If it's escrowed,
Yeah.
right? So if it's escrowed, they're going to continue to pay those property taxes because they don't want to lose it to somebody who bought your taxes.
right,
They're a $400,000 house to somebody who bought $5,000.
right.
worth of taxes.
Chances are, even if it's not escrowed, they will get notified by the county that the taxes haven't been paid, and then it'll be up to that lender to say, "Oh, we better pay these taxes so this doesn't
Right.
get stole from us."
Right.
Yeah.
And there is an opportunity, if you do pay your taxes late, to buy those back.
Right.
So you can buy them.
You
And
get
sometimes
first dibs
it's-
maybe, or what?
Right. You get first dibs of buying it back, but whoever bought them, they can charge you some fees and some interest.
there's a
and
big
some
business
which
in
it's a
that.
big
But,
business
yeah,
in
people
that.
make a
So
living.
Not interest. It's fees.
fees. Yeah, they charge you
They
lots of
can't-
money to get your
Yeah, they
taxes
can't. They
back.
can't call them penalties.
Convenience fees.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Convenience fees.
Right.
I love that.
And it happens, but
It
I would
does.
check with your local municipality. Sometimes there's we had the ladies on a
Yeah,
few weeks ago
absolutely.
from credit whatever
Credit counseling.
consumer
Yep.
credit. They may know of a program, or you may qualify
Right.
for something
Sure.
to pay to help out with those property
Right.
taxes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things out there.
There is a lot of government and state programs, and check with your local municipalities and counties as well, because it's different across
Right.
the United States. Different places offer different programs.
Again, if you go to sell that house, those taxes are going to come out of whatever equity you may have in there,
Right.
But at least
because they will need to be paid.
at least you're living with something in your pocket.
It could
That's
be.
the
Yeah.
key there.
That's true. Yeah, have something in your pocket at the end of the day is the big key, right?
Right.
There we
Oh,
go.
man.
I'll tell you, Eddie is the man.
He is.
So that's it.
Let's
So
see
let's-
here. I'm in front of the camera.
In front of the
so
camera.
here- oh, look
Let's
at
see.
that.
Here we go. Here it goes.
We love it. Hey, that sound can only mean one thing. It's Freedom Friday with Kevin Callback.
There you go. Freedom Friday. Break the chains that bind you, no matter what they be. And that's really important. If you're struggling with something, make sure you break those chains. Find the resources to do that. If you're looking to sell your home right now and you're waiting to find a home, we do want to touch again. I know we talked about this last week as well. Is you can do a rents back for a while until you find a home, and if you don't find a home, well, then that's a problem, right? But there's homes coming on the market. And if everybody that was waiting for their home to buy come on the market, put their home on the market, we wouldn't have a shortage of homes on the market.
That's correct.
So, and across the globe, across the United States, this is a huge issue. But we're going to have a home inspector on here coming soon, and we're talking about pre-home inspections. And we think that's a great idea these days, just to get the little nuisances out of the way and make sure that your home is a safe home to sell, and you're not going to run any glitches. And that runs into what Eddie was saying earlier is, inspectors sometimes know some of the things that FHA or VR are going to call out, and they're like, hey, you know what? Let's take care of this now. You won't run into a problem later. So then even if somebody says, oh, an FHA isn't as good, now they're feeling strong about that they can say, you know what? I don't have anything going on in my house that's going to cause an issue.
Right.
So I can set any offer out there.
Mhm.
It's important. Happy Freedom Friday.
Happy Freedom Friday.
And I think you don't see a lot of those listings where you'll see them, but you don't see a lot of them, as you're doing a search just to see what's out there. FHA approved. I feel like those are homes that people did their homework. They want to make sure they can, what's the word I'm looking for? Qualify the broader public versus just a specific type of cash buyer or a specific type of loan.
Right.
So-
And there's some that are cash conventional only or just cash only, and those are usually in a stage of disrepair of some level that's pretty
Right.
significant.
Right.
So, and I mean, we know things like that. A home built pre-78 could have lead-based paint, right?
Good.
Could have asbestos, could have some things like that.
Right.
More than likely does.
Right. They're not required to test for that, but
Well, you're
some of
right.
the sidings and roof
That's
tiles
right.
and floor
That's right.
tiles can have it in there, so you gotta be careful. But
Well, and Kevin, another thing I want to mention maybe, and you can help people with that, is a lot of people are like, I just don't know where there's to live. But now I see a lot of new homes coming up.
wow,
I mean,
yeah.
more than in the recent past that I can remember.
Yeah,
And they're popping up. Boop, 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 boop,
Yep.
boop, boop.
they're everywhere.
Why is it number one important to go visit these places with you, a realtor,
Right.
instead of just pulling in like a car lot
Right.
and saying, oh, hey, here, let me put my name down.
Yep. So once you put your name down, you are basically have signed up for dual agency, where the builder is going to represent you and the home builder equally and fairly.
Yep.
If that can be done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and the other thing is, if you have a realtor with you, there are things that realtors can do to help you along. They can explain the terms to you. They've been through this before. They understand the process. And there are times where they can get you credits and they can get you money back, and they can get you where you won't ask or are afraid to ask, where we're not afraid to ask, like, hey, wait a second, what about this? What can we do about this fee here? What can we do here?
Yeah.
Can we get some more cash back? Can we get this
Is
upgraded
that gray
free?
door really $300 more?
Right.
Yeah.
I heard realtors are
Great.
great deal whisperers.
Deal
Whisper.
with it.
I'm gonna write that one down.
so
That's it. Put
Yep.
that on a
But once
shirt.
you sign your name in that book,
Reals.
they kind of got that thing, and they try to
Right.
exclude the realtor. And the only if they're trying to exclude the realtor at any point, why would they do that if it didn't benefit them?
Right.
Right.
Now, the other thing is, they'll make you feel uncomfortable as a buyer, to say, no, sorry, no contingency.
Yeah.
But
right.
we'll
Right.
get you approved. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But no
That's right.
contingency on the house. We don't, and now maybe you're going to be stuck with two homes. Hey, Lisa,
Right.
how are you?
And there, yeah. So
Right.
You don't want to do that.
So the other thing is when you go to one of these new home builders and these designed homes and
Right.
PUDs, I guess, right? Planned urban development.
Yep. Some are PUD, some are HUD.
Is now I can go there with Kevin or any realtor of your choice. We like Kevin.
Right.
And Kevin say, I can get this for your house. And okay, you can move into this house is going to be complete in, if it's today, when you ink the contract, you might be able to get into it at the end of June or July,
Right,
something
right.
like that. And Kevin would say, okay, not a problem. We can list this house. We can get it. We can
Yep.
get you this. We can do that rent thing ding
Right.
that you just
Absolutely.
talked about. And away, and you're going to be able to sleep at it. It's going to help get rid of
Right.
a lot of the anxiety.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep. And we're doing that right now in this moment.
Right.
Hey, Ron, Anna, how are you? They are buying new construction.
Yep.
In Huntley, and a great place, great house. They
Gorgeous.
had a house to sell and,
Yep.
and a house they're buying new construction. Not gonna be ready. They said, well, end of May, middle of June.
Right.
I mean, that's a big deal. You're like, oh my goodness. So
End of
they give us
May.
a month
Yeah,
spray,
that's 4 weeks.
and then we're like, wow, you're talking okay. So for a month, either way.
Mhm.
You're thinking that's crazy. So where do I live? What do I do? When I'm under contract,
Am
I
I
gotta sell
living
my
in a
house.
hotel with my
right?
family for a month?
Right, exactly.
Am I renting something at the
I almost did
campground?
that too.
Right.
Can't, no, just kidding.
Staying at the Y, right?
Right, staying at the Y.
Stay at the Y. So we were able to work through those and talk with the builder for one, and then show them the listing agreement, and that helps solidify things. We did get a contract on our home fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And we're doing some rent back because we said, hey, listen, it's going to be a while, but it's in such a desired area. And we had so many offers that we could negotiate things like that. And it's important to have a realtor that understands that and a lender that can work with you on that as well.
Sorry to cut you off, but I
you're
think
good.
that to that point, I'm having a lot of those conversations with a lot of people that are on the fence of, hey, should I sell my house and upgrade?
Mhm.
Why not? Can't say it on the show earlier. Everyone knows your home value is higher now more than ever. Right now is the time to take advantage of that. List your home and provide a great down payment so that you're right at where your payment was, or if not, what, $20 difference?
There was 25 actually.
Yeah.
I know I did the loan, but still.
Right.
But
You did.
come
You
on,
Yeah.
why waste this time on
less than a phone bill, right?
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I can't even take my. I mean, it was $34 to eat at B Dubs last night.
So there
less
you
than
go.
a gym membership?
Less than a gym membership,
Look
There
at
you
that.
go.
and you can tell that I go to. A gym.
Yeah, me too. Working this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Wow.
We should do a workout minute.
Right.
Next time.
Here's a get out of the chair minute.
That's right.
There you go. Do that several
Give me a
times.
head for a second. That's funny stuff.
So-
I'll tell you. And that's
So there's so much anxiety ridden around this industry.
absolutely. And it's that unknown, right?
Ooh,
It's that
yeah.
when people don't know something, they fear it.
Yeah.
Right. It's like refinancing. I want to refi, but then I go talk to the lender and I get it appraised and do I have to get another survey? Do I have to,
But
things like that.
but to these unknowns, we have seen this in the past, whether you were alive or not,
right.
of these cycles of
Mhm.
high rates,
Yeah.
homes depreciating, homes on
Mhm.
the rise. So we see these cycles every 10, 15 years, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where we're at right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, rates are going to fluctuate, come and go, right? And that's what it is. And people are still going to buy, they're still going to sell.
Still need a place to live.
And so, yeah, don't be afraid of the rate. Don't fear the rate, and get out there and do it.
And understand, no better time than right now. And
Right.
here's why. Rates are still great.
Absolutely.
They're still very low.
Yep.
And the value of your home has never been higher.
That's true.
Never been higher. Period.
True.
Okay. So and the demand for your home
Mhm.
has never been higher. So a lot of people are hearing a lot of things of there's no inventory out there. Well, if you put your home on,
That's right. That will
now
help.
we have inventory. That is the inventory, right? And yes, it'll be a slow curve. But here's the deal. You don't have to accept that contract, or you can, but say, okay,
Build
as
in.
long as I have a place to live within 30 days.
Right.
So something of that
Yeah,
nature.
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
You
Little
can,
caveat
you
there.
can put that into the contract,
Right.
and most buyers are going to be like, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's fair.
Yep.
We'll rent your house for a month.
Or whatever.
So you become
right?
a tenant for a short period of time. It's just as if you still own it. I mean, it's
Right.
not like nothing changes really,
Right.
except your payment goes up. a
Yeah,
little
your
bit.
payment. Yeah, your payment goes up a little bit. Goes to me instead of the bank.
Right.
First National
Absolutely.
Bank.
Yep. They pay the bank.
So I think we've heard a lot out there. A lot of people have heard a lot of things out there, but you don't understand what they're saying.
Right.
When we're saying there's low inventory, there is. We need your inventory.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? And your dream home is out there waiting for you.
Yeah.
There's no better time. Oh, well, geez, I'm going to be way overpaying for this house. No, you're going to be paying market value for the house. And the
Right.
market is what it is today.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
The market isn't what it was 5 years ago. Again, we can't trade backwards.
So what's the difference? And maybe this isn't a topic
Mm-hmm.
for today because we only have a couple minutes left. So if house prices are at the highest
Yep.
and interest rates are down, if interest rates go up and prices stay the same or come down just a little, how does that affect their payment? How does that affect their affordability? How does the interest rates changing affect? And what is the lower or higher of the price?
I think it's just a matter of like we talked earlier, like you have more buying power or less buying power. Are you qualified for a little bit more because the rate was a little lower, or now you're kind of here right now versus what you could have gotten before, which is what I kind of started with the show today. So to that is just go out there and see what you're qualified for today and focus on today.
Yep.
Whatever happened yesterday doesn't matter. Things tomorrow can change, and that can affect the rate, which can affect your payment, which can affect your lending authority or power. So I mean, it's just a difference of like, can you work with someone that will meet you somewhere? Right now in today's market, it's kind of hard to get a seller to come down or give credits or anything like that. It does happen, but not
And the
so
biggest takeaway I think is if you have questions, call a professional.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Call your lender, call your realtor,
Absolutely.
call your attorney, call your bank, call whoever, but make sure you get the right answers to those questions.
Yeah, and I would challenge this. So call a professional you don't have a relationship with.
Right. That's
Okay.
true too.
And understand why I say that. I'm going to give people that I love maybe a little bit more conservative advice because I love them.
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
So, right. But if it's somebody I don't know, I can be listen, here's the deal. Here's the God's honest truth. Boom.
Right.
Now you'd say, why wouldn't you do that for your own son? I would give him the truth, but I would be like, yeah, you're right. Because
that
I
feeling,
care about him.
right.
Right.
Sure.
So however, if he were to call Eddie, who doesn't have a relationship, knows him, but doesn't have a relationship with him, Eddie's going to be like, listen, A, B, C, D.
Call me Spence.
Right. I may say B, C, D and
Right.
leave out A because I care about you.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And I want to do what I think is good for you.
Amen.
So if you don't know somebody, you might, your doctor who you go and play golf with is going to have a hard time giving you the news that you have cancer.
Right.
The doctor that you don't golf with is going to be like, listen, you got cancer.
That's right.
Yeah.
We gotta get busy. We gotta get busy.
And kind of the piggyback on that is, I'll use your word from earlier today. Are you comfortable with that anchor payment? Whether you get a 6%, 4%, 5%, you're still going to qualify. Your payment might be slightly higher, but is that still in the works for you to just make everything work?
We moved in December, and every day, listen, I love the house I was in for 18 years. every day that I drive into my driveway now, I'm blessed and humbled and
It's very
very,
nice.
very grateful that,
Great
that
house.
we made the move. And what a difference.
Yeah, right. And the family's happy, and I mean,
yeah.
it's just a new atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine being on the fence and maybe trying to pull a trigger right now or in March or,
Right.
or February. Difference
Right.
in rate, difference in everything.
Difference in
Yeah.
everything.
Sure.
Yeah. For all of us here at 216 Net, thanks for getting the net with us. This, of course, has been the Neighborhood Pulse,
It
show
is.
all about real estate with Kevin Callback and Eddie Martinez.
And Ken Jones.
Yeah, I was on today. I
Hey,
got my
hey,
face
hey.
out there.
Look at that.
As come back at 3 for In the Know with Steph and Joe. It's going to be intimate, just Steph and Joe. And yes, people, Joe will be here. He
Whoa.
absolutely.
Guess
will
who's
be
back?
here. Guess who's back?
Back from trick.
Shady. All right.
We'll see you.
All right.
See you.
Be good to everyone. And remember, it's a great time to list a house and it's a great time to buy.
Upgrade.
Friday.